Hey, part 2 of the greenhouse reveal. This is my Aeroflo hydroponic system. Let's get this bucket out of the way here. And this is the Aeroflo 60, and to get the 60 from, we have are these square tubes here. There's 6 of these tubes, and there's 10 plant stations in each tube. So that's where they get the 60. So we can plant 60 plants in here, although it does get kind of tight for some of these plants. Here's my lettuce I've got growing right now, and this is the Adriana. They're looking really nice and big. They're doing really well. The nice thing about these tubes is the water, you can set the height of the water as much as you want. So when I first put these in, I've been growing them. You can see in that little bucket there, that's some kale I got going. That's some dinosaur kale, I think they call that one. But anyway, use the hydrotron, and you can get the water to come up right at the bottom of those. And then as the roots grow down into the water, you can lower the level of the water. There's a way to do that. The lettuce is looking really good in here, and these are ready. They should be picked pretty quick here. I got some cilantro. We like cilantro. Didn't like that first time I tried it. Oh my God, what the heck? It kind of grows on you. Oh, your taste buds. And it's supposed to be good for you. It's I forget what all, but it's some kind of cleansing thing. Got a few pepper plants growing here. I didn't have enough room in my Beto buckets for them, so we got them set in here. Got some kale back there. That kale is, oh, my hose fell over there. That kale is recommended for in a greenhouse type situation. It doesn't grow real high right away, tall. And we've been eating on that. I think I got too many of them in there. I think it looks like some of them are getting ready to be finished off, taken out of there. And guy that bought this from, he was moving out of state, and these here, buy them brand new. It's pretty much this whole setup here: pump, the reservoir, everything that goes with it. The only thing that you didn't have was a stand. But buy some now. They've got a stand. Made my own stand there, and these run right around $900 if you gotta buy them, plus shipping and all that. And he wanted to get rid of it, so he let it go for $375. I thought it was pretty darn reasonable. I jumped on that right away. He was on Craigslist. So we got that. Here's an item I really show you this stuff down here. This is Watercress. This is the real thing. Sometimes you see seeds and you think, well, is that the real thing or not? But this is, and I like this here. It's got a peppery, kind of a spicy, peppery taste to it, and kind of reminds me of my childhood experiences. Way back when I was a child, young child. Parents and we'd go up to Farmer's Field. It's out in the Chilton, Sherwood area here in Wisconsin, somewhere out there. I can't remember exactly where it was. But we go back in this field, and there was a spring coming right up out of the ground. Clean water, you could drink that right there. You could drink it right out of the ground if you wanted to. And this stuff grew wild in there. And I could always remember that. I could remember the taste of it. As best as you can remember tastes of stuff, I guess. But anyway, I seen these seeds, and it said watercress. So I thought, well, I'm going to take a chance and see, is it the real thing? And sure enough, it is. If we had a scratch and sniff, you could taste it, but we don't quite have that yet, technology. And it's really good. Anyway, we put it on salads, put it in sandwiches. You put it, eat it by itself like this here, however you'd like to. I like it in sandwiches mainly. Put it on salad. If you put a big lettuce salad in that, the flavor gets a little bit lost in there. When I put it in there, I usually, instead of just picking off all the leaves, I'll kind of pick off big parts instead of shredding it up. Good stuff. So I got that. The other things we got going in here, I was going to try some microgreens, didn't eat them fast enough. This is spinach, and I bought this as a microgreen package, but now it's turning into baby spinach, which is just fine. Good to put in the salads. Got more cilantro growing over here, and I had cilantro growing once before in one of these, and I had it too close together. I spread it out so it gets bigger growth, better growth, and easier to cut it. Got some new lettuce started here. As soon as I get some openings in my Aeroflo, that'll be going in there. Looks like it's about ready to get in there. I got some crisp mint. It's one of them. And I forgot the name of the other one. The other one is a headed lettuce, and it's a smaller one. I'm thinking tennis ball or something, but anyway, there's that. I'm going to take the camera off here because I'll show you something else I got going down here. So, excuse the shaking if it gets a little shaky from here on out. Only had 2 cups of coffee today. And I'll be working on my 3rd one pretty soon here. Anyway, these are onions I started from seed. Had a hard time finding these seeds. I think I got them from, finally found them West Coast Seeds up in Canada. I think it's British Columbia. These are Kelsey. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Kelsey giant onions. These I started in these little pots on the 10th, March 10th. So they're actually doing pretty good, I'd say. Got 2 of these, and what it is, some of the guys, a lot of the guys, I guess, over in Europe, one of the big things they like doing over there is growing giant vegetables. And this is the onion that they usually use to try to get a giant onion. And if I remember right, I think the world record is like 17 pounds, maybe? Have to look that up. Kelsey, K-E-L-S-A-E. Giant onions. I'm going to see how big I can get them. I'm sure I'm not going to get them that big, but just for the fun of it, plant a few. I got onions ordered from Dixonville Farms out of Texas. Those will be my main onions that I plant in the garden. Got a little pineapple growing here. It's just the top. I cut it off, stick it in the soil here. It'll start rutting. Hasn't rutted yet. I had one going last year. It looked really good, going nice and big, and I left it outside in the fall. You don't do that in Wisconsin. It ended up, that one ended up freezing off. Didn't come back. So we got that. Got a few plants here. This is a Christmas cactus. This one last summer was looking really terrible. My wife had this when we got married, and we've been married over 30 years, and I don't know how old that was before that. But anyway, last summer it was getting pretty bad looking. I cut it way back, and a lot of what you see on here is new growth. So I'm hoping this coming winter, not that I want to think about winter yet, but next winter we'll get some blossoms on here. It's blossomed a few times, but not as good as I'd like. Avocado, started that from one of the big avocado seeds. I clipped the top off the other day. Let's see if it'll branch out somehow or another. I'm always playing with ground cherries. I had some in the basement. Apparently some of the seed got down in here, so I got a ground cherry growing already. This here one is called an Easter cactus, and that was looking really terrible. Still looks kind of bad, but got new growth, and I see we can get some blossoms on it. And it's really pretty. I've seen these here growing really well and big and full, and when they bloom, it's just beautiful. Just a little experimental. Well, it's not really experimental, but guys looking for hydroponic stuff, you've probably seen these kind of buckets. And this one here, this came with the outfit when I bought the Aeroflo from the fella. He was moving out to Texas anyway. He had this, he threw this in. He also had a 1,000-watt Sun Systems light. I got that. Those are worth, I don't know, they must cost a couple $100. Got all that stuff for $375. Anyway, this is a zucchini that I had extra. Didn't have a beetle bucket, so I thought, well, we'll put it in here and try this. And there's an air pump that pumps air down into this tube. And what it does is this goes down into a reservoir in the bottom. Looks like it needs some water. The water should be up to here. And every 45 minutes I got this set so it turns on. Air pumps down in there, and what it forces the water up through this inside tube and out here. There's little holes in here. And I noticed, I don't know if I'd really like this. I don't think I'd recommend them. What's happening is the water splatters around. I'm using the same nutrient here that I use in my other stuff, but it seems to really, the water evaporates up on top, and you get a lot of a buildup up here. So, but it's getting some zucchini on. Let's see how that goes. Got my got a Meyer lemon here in this pot. There's a Meyer lemon and a key lime. And this thing was just loaded with blossoms during the winter, and it smelled so good when it came out here. Now I see a lot of little nubbies on here. I hope that it's going to set some fruit, if that's what's happening. And then this is hibiscus. I had this last summer, and normally it's pretty hard keeping these things in Wisconsin through the winter, but I put it in here in the winter. It just kind of stayed steady, and had some big buds on there, but they didn't bloom too often. But it's getting ready to bloom again, so not really a good idea. I did have a problem with these two plants getting spider mites on. I had them outside and I really sprayed them down good, so hopefully I got them. Well, that's about it. Greenhouse. Okay, this is the next day from the video that you've been watching. Came out here to check on the greenhouse and noticed the hibiscus was blooming. And see, it's a very pretty flower. And that's why I didn't want it to just sit out and let her go in the winter here. Would have never made it. This particular one is Sunny Wind. And more buds coming on here. Once this thing gets going and full of buds, it should be a really nice plant. Just thought I'd quick show you that.